Hey folks, here's a video I haven't made in a long time, and that would be record pickups. I used to call these videos way back in the day, for those of you who subscribed to me back then, vinyl update. Well, I've changed that because I've noticed that people don't know how to use words anymore. When they get a bunch of records, they say, hey, I got a bunch of vinyls. Which is not proper grammar. That's not how to say that. You say, you got a bunch of vinyl. You know, I got some vinyl. That's how you say that. I've taken to saying records, because that could mean 78s, that could mean 45s, that could mean 30, that could mean LPs as well. So, I'm changing the name of this to record pickups, because that's what these are called. These are not vinyls, these are records. Or vinyl. Or vinyl. Anyway, records. Here's the first one. I managed to pick this up out of the dollar bin at my old work, actually. It's a Fatboy Slim record. It looks like it's a maxi single for DJs or something. It even has parental guidance sticker on it. How about that? According to the copyright, it's from the year 2001. It's the song Ya Mama and Song for Shelter. And then there's a remix of Song for Shelter with the Chemical Brothers. So this is as late 90s, early 2000s as you can get for DJ records and stuff like that. Ya Mama's pretty good, actually. I like side A a lot. And the funny thing about this record is it's not side A and B, it's side A and side double A. It's like it's batteries or something. I don't know. Whoever originally bought this paid about $11 for it. Not bad. Here's another one. I'm a collector of the Solitudes series that Dan Gibson makes. Here's a picture of Dan Gibson himself with a parabolic microphone, getting the nature sounds that he records. He's done things like Loon Echo Lake, which I grew up with and helped me go to sleep when I was a kid. So ever since then, I've been collecting his stuff on both cassettes, well, not both, but cassettes, CDs, and records. Preferably, I'd like to get the records more than anything else, but the cassettes and CDs are good as well. I should mention that another pickup I got from work was this other Solitudes cassette, called Stargazing. I haven't listened to it yet, it's still sealed, so I'll have to listen to that at some point. That's another mentionable pickup, I guess. Here's another one. I got this record from a merch booth, actually. I went up to the Kung Fu Necktie up in Philly, if any of you guys go there to see shows. I went up to the Kung Fu Necktie. Anti-Nowhere League was playing there. One of my favorite punk bands. And they had a merch bench. And I was debating on getting a patch or a t-shirt or a record. But turns out they have the uncut versions of their first album, We Are the League. They re-recorded it in 2015. But it's still all the old songs. We Are the League, Animal, I Hate People, Woman, Streets of London, Let's Break the Law, We Will Not Remember You, So What? So What's a hilarious song. This is a punk band where you just can't take the lyrics too seriously. It's just, it's just lighthearted humor with some edginess to it. Good stuff, though. Anti-Nowhere League is great. And they have a real sense of humor. Green vinyl, so fucking what? Anyway, I picked that up. I haven't listened to it yet because I wanted to get footage of that sticker. Anyhow, more records. On a completely different genre, Pointer Sisters. I used to have this. My parents used to have this, and I think I gave it away by accident because I didn't know what I had. And then I discovered later that I liked the Pointer Sisters, and I was like, crap, why'd I get rid of that? So I reacquired it. 80s goodness. I'm a big fan of 80s music, and this is some of the best stuff you can get. Plus, look at them. They're all happy. And I mean happy. Happy. It's got Jump, Automatic, I'm So Excited, Neutron Dance. This is why I bought this album, is for Neutron Dance. That's a really good song. That's a classic 80s tune right there. Looks like the second side is really meh, but the first side's where all the good songs are. Jump, Automatic, I'm So Excited, and Neutron Dance. Neutron Dance especially. I'd like to find a maxi single of that somewhere if I can. Managed to get this too. The Glenn Miller in memorial from 1944 to 1969. And the reason I bought this, even though it's not the best release, I mean, my buddy Mark will tell you that I probably shouldn't have bought this even for $1, but you know what? It's actually really nice to have. It's really nice to just have all these songs on one big compilation, so that I can just stick this on the record player and just have it play and be like, hey, I feel like listening to Glenn Miller today. Pop, there you go. And it has a lot of the good stuff. This record's a little worn out. I got it out of the dollar bin. What do you expect? Moonlight Serenade, Little Brown Jug, In the Mood, of course, Indian Summer, Tuxedo Junction, Pennsylvania 69000 or 65000. My bad. Chattanooga Choo Choo, one of my favorites. String of Pearls is good. American Patrol, I Got a Gal in Kalamazoo is my favorite Glenn Miller song. St. Louis Blues March from when they were the Glenn Miller band, when they were in the Army band. Serenade in Blue. There's a lot of good stuff on here. The thing that's different about this record and why my buddy Mark mentioned that I probably shouldn't have picked this up. It's a mono record actually, but it's RCA Dinah Flex from the late 60s. These records were extremely thin, but were more virgin vinyl than some of the other records from the 50s were. I'll take one out and show it to you. You can see this. This stuff is ultra flexible, ultra thin, but it doesn't sound that bad actually. It just looks like a regular record, but it's beyond floppy. And it warps easily, and you know, it's Dinah Flex wasn't great, but but still that doesn't stop me from getting some good stuff on the records if I see it. Like this Glenn Miller compilation. It sounds fine to me anyway. It's not something I would play on an expensive record player with expensive cartridges, but it's definitely something that it's definitely worth having. You know, I'd put this on my listening turntable in a heartbeat. Let's see if I can get this back in there. This is the trouble with some records. I don't like to get in all the way, so you have to shake them around. I forgot this had a gatefold. Check this out. A bunch of pictures of Glenn Miller. There he is when he was a baby. There's a good picture of him. Look how happy he is. He's just like, yeah, I'm Glenn Miller. There he is in his Army uniform. There he is playing. There's a nice picture of him. Get out of the way. Strap. Some good stuff there. There you go. That's Glenn Miller Memorial. This record here is special. Valp, Val Well. What this is a Moog synthesizer demonstration record or showcase. And it has some really good stuff on it. If you're a fan of Moog synthesizers, this is an album to see if you can get. I've heard that it's kind of rare and you can't find it too much. I had to import it from Germany on eBay to get it. My buddy Will recommended this to me. Will Plank, the Tech Plank, he recommended this to me just as we were talking. He was like, "Hey, you should get this record because it's good." And he sent me like a little video of him listening to it, and I liked what I heard, so I picked it up. And yeah, this is a really good Moog record. It's really, really good. This guy can make these things sing big time. Plus, the recording is from 1979, so the it has that really deep sound that synthesizers used to have back then. It's not just like trance music or EDM or something. It's like really, really deep, just gritty synthesizer music. It's really nice. July 1979. I had to import this from Germany, so I don't know how rare this is. It's probably fairly uncommon if I had to guess, but it's a good record. If you ever see it, pick it up, especially viewers in Germany. It's probably going to be easier to find there. The funny thing is, I actually bought 2 copies of these. Let me grab the other one. I bought it from two different people in Germany. The first time, it got wet in shipping, and it just ruined this jacket. The record is still okay. It's kind of noisy. I should probably clean it. And it has something in the groove that makes it skip. So this record was not in good shape. And because it was liquid damaged, I managed to get my money back for it. And I used the money I got back from this to buy this copy, which is in much better shape. It's a nice, quiet, clean copy of the album, so you can hear all the synthesizer. There's a lot less crackle in it. It's in great shape. So, good stuff. Lionel Richie, Can't Slow Down. This is Lionel Richie's Thriller in terms of albums. I'm a big fan of his because he was on the Motown label, and a lot of the producers back then knew how to do funk. Like Rick James was also on Motown back then, so I think there was a trend for them at the time. This has a lot of good songs on it. Look at him looking so confident. It's got good songs. It's got Can't Slow Down, Running with the Night, and Hello. Can't Slow Down especially is really good. This is one of those albums where I can listen to the whole thing and not get bored of it. And that's how you can tell it's a good album. So that Lionel Richie album I got for $1. It's definitely worth getting. The Valp album I got for about $15 plus shipping from Germany. So, yeah. For being a pretty rare record, it wasn't that expensive. So, it's not a valuable record, but it is rare. So, yeah, there's that Lionel Richie album, and here's one that I've been after for a little while. Alan Parsons Project, I, Robot. This album is great. Mainly for one song. I Wouldn't Want to Be Like You. I wouldn't want to be like you. It's a really good song. This is prog at its finest. Alan Parsons Project's first album was fantastic. And that I recommend anybody to listen to. It has some good songs on it. I think it's his best album, apart from the one that has Sirius and Eye in the Sky in it. This guy down here looks like John Cleese. I just wanted to point that out. It might be John Cleese. I don't know. Anyhow, I got that for... how much did I get that for? I can't remember. It was probably like $5 or something. Anyhow, and here's my favorite find. The FM soundtrack. I would have never have known about this movie if it hadn't been for RMX77 here on YouTube, actually. So he's introduced me to a lot of good music. And FM is something he mentioned to me about. And I finally found a soundtrack in the record shop. You can see up there I got it for $15. This movie flopped. Absolutely flopped in the box office in 1978. But it has a fantastic soundtrack. It's really good. It has the Steely Dan song FM, which they did for this movie specifically. And you can see all the artists we have on here. It's a 70s smorgasbord. You have Boston, you have Jimmy Buffett, the Doobie Brothers, Eagles, Dan Fogelberg, Foreigner, Billy Joel, Steve Miller, Tom Petty, Queen, Linda Ronstadt, Boz Scaggs, Bob Seger, Steely Dan, James Taylor, Joe Walsh. It's a 70s smorgasbord on here. And these are the songs again. More Than a Feeling. Jimmy Buffett's best song, in my opinion, Livingston Saturday Night. Doobie Brothers, Eagles, Foreigner, Billy Joel. A lot of good songs. Lido Shuffle by Boz Scaggs is great. And it looks like this was one that was sold by one of those little, those people that just hand out promos. Sample copy up here. Yeah, there you go. That's a big find. I like that one a lot. So anyhow, those are the record pickups I had recently. The reason I haven't done these videos as often is just because I haven't been buying records like crazy like I used to. Because my collection got really big really fast. So I have to be really picky about what I get now. The way I'm building my collection is there's certain artists that I really like. Like I have a pretty vast amount of Pink Floyd records. So I'm going to keep those. I have a pretty vast amount of Steely Dan records. And most of what I want in my collection are albums that I'll listen all the way through. I don't want ones where I'll get bored in the middle of it and have to change the song. Because to me that defeats the purpose of just putting it on the record player and letting it go. I like fully immersive albums. So that's sort of what I'm going for. At least one side of the album has to be worth listening to all the way through for me to buy it, buy into it, and make the space for it nowadays. So, there you go. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good one, everybody. Ciao.